Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into one of the most absolutely crucial conversations happening right now. We're looking at how the creators of Claude AI, that's the brother-sister duo Dario and Daniela Amodei over at Anthropic, are actively navigating the massive, world-altering trade-offs of artificial intelligence. It's a story of incredible potential, sure, but also undeniable risk. To set the tone right out of the gate, listen to this question. Now, this wasn't asked by some skeptical journalist. No, this was actually generated by Claude itself when asked what the most pressing question for its creator, Dario, should be. Quote, "You've said there's a meaningful chance that technology could cause human extinction, and yet you're racing to build it faster. How do you justify that?" Man, Claude really doesn't pull its punches, does it? The stakes literally could not be higher, and honestly, Anthropic knows it. All right, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. First, we'll examine the high stakes of AI. Second, the public benefit corporation. Third, medical breakthroughs versus job losses. And finally, taking control of AI. Section 1. The high stakes of AI and steering the train. To really grasp the mindset over at Anthropic, we have to recognize that this shift is, well, it's basically on par with humanity's discovery of fire or the dawn of the Industrial Revolution. Listen to this precise word choice from CEO Dario Amodei. He says, "This technology is an apocalyptic change for humanity." He uses this brilliant analogy saying AI is like a massive, fast-moving train. It's already left the station, right? You can't stop the train from moving forward, but what you can do is grab the controls and steer so it doesn't crash into the rocks. Because whether we like it or not, we are all on this train. And this brings us to a really fascinating paradox. See, Anthropic views AI as having two distinct paths. On one side, AI acts as an angel on your shoulder, empowering you to learn new skills, launch a new career, or maybe even improve your human relationships. But on the flip side is what they call surrendering thought. This is the dystopian shade, turning completely inward, suffering from extreme tech addiction, or forming dangerous, isolating emotional attachments to a chatbot. Anthropic's whole mission is to make sure we stay firmly anchored to that first path. Moving on to Section 2, the Public Benefit Corporation, and structuring for safety. So, if the stakes are literal human survival and flourishing, how in the world do you build a business that handles those immense societal responsibilities without, just chasing the next dollar? Well, Anthropic did something very specific here. They incorporated as a Public Benefit Corporation, or PBC. Right there in their founding documents, they are legally mandated to balance commercial interests with the public benefit. When push comes to shove between maximizing profit and prioritizing public safety, this legal structure forces them to lean towards the social good. And to prove this isn't just a bunch of corporate jargon, the co-founders made a pretty astonishing pledge. They have legally committed to donating 80%, yes, 80% of their wealth generated from Anthropic to philanthropic causes. They built the company because they genuinely want AI to go well for everyone. And this pledge ensures the financial rewards of the tech are systematically driven right back into the public benefit. Think about how this actually plays out in their daily operations. Anthropic actively rejected the traditional tech ad-based model. Why? Well, because ad models financially incentivize keeping your eyeballs glued to the screen for as many hours as possible. It literally breeds addiction. By choosing a subscription model instead, their incentive is entirely different. It's to provide utility. You ask Claude a question, you get your answer, and you log off to go live your actual human life. It's a deliberate choice that protects your privacy and actively fights against that dystopian tech addiction we were just talking about. We actually see this safety-first approach in how they release new technology, like their highly advanced Mythos model. During testing, they found it was incredibly good at finding software exploits, the kind used in devastating cyber or ransomware attacks. But notice their strategy here. Instead of just putting it out to the public, they gave it exclusively to infrastructure defenders first, major banks, big tech companies. This armed the good guys, allowing them to patch vulnerabilities for months before the model ever saw the light of day. That right there, that is steering the train away from the rocks. Section 3. Medical breakthroughs versus job losses and the real-world impact. Let's shift gears from corporate governance to the practical impacts on your future. At Anthropic, they have a cultural value they call holding the light and the shade, meaning they fully acknowledge the extreme best case and worst case scenarios. Just think about the stark contrast here. The light is this utopian vision where AI helps us cure all forms of cancer, dramatically speeding up drug discovery so we conquer rare diseases, and humans live much longer, healthier lives. Incredible, right? But the shade is severe economic disruption. Dario Amodei openly acknowledges that 50% of entry-level jobs could
just be wiped out. Both of these realities are hurtling towards us on that very same train.
But it's not simply a matter of humans becoming obsolete. Actually, scratch that. It's more of a transformation. As co-founder Daniela Amodei beautifully puts it, the things that make us human are going to be the most important to us. While AI is absolutely going to change what jobs we do, it's going to fundamentally increase the value of our uniquely human qualities, things like empathy, real connection, and physical presence. Take a medical doctor, for example. Today, a human doctor spends countless hours doing clerical work, running diagnostics, staring at charts. It's exhausting. But in the near future, an AI assistant will do all that data analysis instantly. Does that replace the doctor? No way. It frees the human doctor up to actually sit with you, provide real bedside manner, physically examine you, and offer deep empathy. The job definitely changes, but the human element, that becomes the premium feature. Section 4, taking control of AI and seizing your agency. So how do we actually prepare for a world like that? Well, we have a duty to respond to this technological shift, not just let it happen to us. Here are some tangible, actionable steps you can take today. First, become comfortable and fluent with AI tools. You don't need to be a software engineer, just learn how to use them so you have an informed voice. Second, guard developing brains. Anthropic explicitly bans users under 18 from Claude because, honestly, we simply don't know the full impact on kids yet. Third, speak out to your local and federal representatives. And finally, support policies and regulations that hold these companies accountable to democratic values. You absolutely have a voice in this. As Dario Amodei states in this really foundational quote, we can only diffuse this at the speed of trust. And let's be real, right now, trust in the tech industry is in incredibly short supply. Anthropic believes that expanding the circle of conversation, demanding corporate accountability, and building transparent AI, that's the only way we move forward safely. So what you should really take away from this explainer is simple. Knowledge is power. Hiding from AI, that's not going to stop the train, but leaning into AI literacy, experimenting with it, and understanding both the light and the shade, that will empower you. It can completely level the playing field, giving you the agency to shape exactly how this technology integrates into your community and your society. Which leaves us with this final, incredibly important question to ponder. Are you going to be a passive passenger on the AI train just watching the scenery blur by? Or will you use your voice, your knowledge, and your agency to steer it towards a better future? The choice is entirely yours. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll see you next time.